Hi, my name's Jackson Noe with Noe Finance. I'm in my home office today here in Louisville, Kentucky. Wanted to share a video with you small business owners to help you go through the SBA loan application process. I've been doing this now for 5 years. With my previous company that I managed, I helped over 2,000 clients receive over $200 million funding. So I wanted to start my own company, work on my own, focus on you small business owners. Put 100% of my time and attention into you guys to help you all, because I know how difficult it is for you small business owners to operate and run your company. And also, it's hard for you all to spend enough time and do the research to find out who's good to work with as far as seeking debt financing or even equity financing. What I focus on is debt. I think one of the best products out there is the SBA loan for you small business owners. So that's why we're going to go over that today. And I'll go through all the details of what the requirements are, the challenges, and what are the best places to look for as far as what banks to go to as far as SBA financing. And if you are familiar with it's for the Small Business Administration, they're a government entity designed years ago to help small businesses thrive in the community. We all know these small business owners are the backbone of the economy. You're keeping many employees, your payroll, you're helping the community. And we just want to be able to help you guys out versus these bigger corporations that are getting all these tax breaks, and it's hard to compete with them as we move forward. We want to make sure that we're giving you all the options and tools necessary to grow your business. And my way of doing that is through debt financing. So here we go. Okay. Getting approved for an SBA loan. We're going to the SBA 7A loan. That's the working capital program. They do also have the SBA 504 program. If you're looking to buy piece of property for your business to operate out of, then that might be a good option for you. But that's another video that I'll have to go over. This is for working capital, payroll, marketing expenses, buying inventory, equipment, that sort of thing. Your everyday working capital needs for your small business. This is a good option for you. The SBA goes over 10 years. Most deals are 10 years and their monthly payments right now, with the prime rate at 8.5%, a lot of banks kick in 2.5% to 2.75%. So you're looking at a variable rate. It is variable depending on what the Fed makes the prime rate. Right now, it's right around 11.25% interest rate. There's a lot of merchant cash advance lenders out there with very high interest rates. Very high interest rates puts a lot of strain on your cash flow, whereas the SBA loans go over 10 years, their monthly payments, and it's a huge difference than some of these online lenders. Common misconceptions. Some people think that you can't be a startup and get an SBA loan. Both of those are untrue. As long as you're a small business and you operate in America, as long as the owners are not a part of bigger corporations, you can pre-qualify. Okay. Challenges in the loan process. A lot of the challenges come based on your business background or your personal credit score. That's the number one non-starter's personal credit score. If it's under a 650, then the SBA is not going to help you out. And the American government is not going to lend money to someone with a less than fair credit score rating. Complex requirements for this, it's really, like I said, personal credit score is 650 above. You got to be a U.S. business and you got to be a small business. But as far as that pre-qualification, if the owners are U.S. citizens or you all have a working visa, any 20% or more owner, then you should be able to pre-qualify for the SBA program. The other things, as long as you're not a criminal in the last 5 to 10 years, depending on what offense it is, you got to be up to date on if you have child support, make sure that you're up to date on that. And then financials, we'll go over those in a second, but we need financials. The financials that you typically need, it's last 2 years, personal and business tax returns. Right now, it's September 2024. We haven't filed yet of 2023. You would need a 2023 P&L, also a 2024 year-to-date P&L. It's going to be signed within the last 30 days. If you got to have your accounting team or your accountants that you use for your small business to be able to come up with all these documents. It shouldn't be that hard. They should have everything up to date already. A lot of problems that I run into as small business owners, you all are paying your friends or family to do your accounting and bookkeeping. It's great as far as a price standpoint, but it's better to have a professional do your accounting for you as well as your tax work. And then you also need a personal financial statement. Typically, they'll need to see a debt schedule to see what loans you're paying on now. The reason why they need all this information is to make sure that you can afford whatever loan that you're going to take out, however the amount. They want to make sure that you can make the monthly payments. Lack of clear guidance. I'll sum it up as this. There's a lot of brokers out there that are in my chair, but a lot of them are trying to push you into merchant cash advance. They'll say what you want to hear. They'll say, hey, if you take this loan out, we can refinance it with an SBA loan or a line of credit, blah, blah, blah. But if it's not in the contract itself that you're signing for, then I would double check with your lawyer, check with your advisor. But a lot of times it's not true what they're saying. They just want you to do that. So you take the merchant cash advance deal. I'd like to put these videos out here to give you all a little information. And also I've been in the business now for 5 years. I've heard and seen everything in the industry. And a lot of the brokers out there, they get paid way more money to get you into a merchant cash advance loan versus an SBA loan. I know that for a fact. Be careful of who you're listening to, because a lot of people out there and they're trying to make a buck. I'll leave it at that. Preparation for application. The most important thing is to make sure your credit score is above a 650 and that you have all your financials. Last 2 years, personal business tax returns, personal and business. They need 6 months bank statements, and you need to be cash flow positive. In your tax returns, you got to show that you have a profit. If you don't show that you have a profit, it'll be very hard for you to get it approved for an SBA loan unless your credit is outstanding. One of the other eligibility requirements, your business credit score, they want to see it at scale, the SBS and small business credit score scale. It goes up to 300. So it's 0 to 300. A lot of banks want to see at least a 140. Some want to see a 160 and above. Gathering the necessary documentation, that's going over the financials, the tax returns, the P&Ls, the balance sheets. Navigating the loan application. Go with your trusted advisor. I'm here to help as well. I don't get paid unless you all get your loan funded. Some people charge up front. That works too. Whatever works for the customer and the business. Go with someone that you trust. Be aware of any documents that you sign. Make sure that you're not signing up for a merchant cash advance. Be careful of that of who you work with. Steps of the application process. You got to make sure that you pre-qualify with your credit score, business score, and then those financials. You got to have all of those in order. And once you have that, you can start the pre-application process, pre-qualification. And if you pre-qualify, then they'll start asking for all of those documents that you have on hand. Common pitfalls to avoid. I think the biggest thing is you got to have a plan as far as what you need the funds for. If you ask for a $500,000 SBA loan and the banker comes to you and says, all right, that's great, Johnny, but why do you need $500,000? And you say, oh, I just need $400,000 in working capital and about $100,000 to buy this piece of equipment. And they're going to come back to you and say, it looks like your business is doing well. That $100,000, if you need a piece of equipment that makes sense, we can help you out there. But we're not going to extend you another $400,000 to have in the bank. I would say the biggest thing is make sure that you have a solid plan. It doesn't need to be airtight. It needs to be, you have a specific need for each dollar that you're going to ask to borrow. And then overall tips for a successful submission, make sure you have a good plan, make sure you have the right financials in order. You want to make sure that your financials are done professionally by an accountant or a CPA, and make sure that all of that stuff checks out as far as your tax returns and your P&Ls, that they all reflect the same numbers. The role of Noe Finance, like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've helped over 2,000 companies. I've been doing this a long time. It depends on exactly what you're asking for, what your needs are as a company, understanding where debt financing makes sense, where it doesn't. I'll add on to this, a client that I've helped out recently, they're a local coffee shop. They have been around for 14 years. Great coffee shop. They've got 5 locations and they're across 2 different states now, and they're looking to expand. But one of their problems was they're showing a loss on their tax returns because they're spending so much capital, whatever they were bringing in to spend more on opening up another location or fixing up some of their shops or spending more money in marketing, whatever it was. But luckily they had a really good credit score. They did have SBA loan previously that they paid off, and that helped out. But they actually got denied from a city bank here locally because of that cash flow issue showing the loss on their tax return. We were able to place them with an SBA bank that was able to extend them $100,000. That paid off one of their high interest rate MCA position, merchant cash advance position of $60,000. We were able to pay off one of those. And then they had an extra $30,000 to $40,000 to spend on working capital. It was a great experience for one of my clients here recently.